Also new tonight, a CDC representative is on his way to Shelby County to make sure that the remaining vaccines in the county are being used efficiently. Meanwhile, county leaders say that they were basically silent today as the city of Memphis officially took charge of the vaccination process. Let's go to Fox 13's Dominique Dillon live from the Pipkin building. Dominique, the city says they do have a plan to improve this process. How so?
Well, Daryl, first you're going to see a lot of major changes to the county system that received a lot of complaints from people when they decided to schedule appointments, as well as when they were in line. There were long wait times that people complained about, but those changes are coming. If you take a look behind me, you can see that people are driving in to receive their vaccines, and Mayor Jim Strickland says these changes are coming, but people don't have to worry about them right away.
This week, we anticipate putting out somewhere between 30 and 40,000 doses, which will bring us down to the ability to accept new doses.
Within roughly 24 hours, the city of Memphis activated a robust plan to take full responsibility for vaccinating people across Shelby County. This comes after the state stripped the county of its responsibility after 2,400 COVID-19 doses expired.
The county health department is still in charge of public health decisions, such as whether we should move from one phase to the other.
The city plans to get more than 17,000 first doses into people's arms, as well as nearly 13,000 second doses. It also plans to change up some systems to make the process better.
From the public's standpoint, citizens will not need to do anything differently.
For the time being, people should continue using Sign Up Genius. City leaders say that process will transition into a system that the state uses in up to 2 weeks. 901-222-SHOT will remain the number to call to schedule appointments.
Our 222-SHOT, it is a labor intensive, it's tough to do that call center, so we're going to add some new capacity there, more call takers to ensure that we can capture the volume of calls.
The city also believes it will be able to cut down on wait times by only allowing people to get in line within an hour of their appointment and enforcing the appointment policy. Reporting live at the Pipkin building, Dominique Dillon, Fox 13 News.